Awesome. Kurt's good for a win every once in a while, though. He knows all the courses because he's been around since fucking Nom. Cool. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the inaugural cast of Analytically Correct. I cannot spell that, but it sounds really cool. You may know me as Brett again, otherwise Brett, don't give a shit. Call me Susan if it makes you happy. This is my boy Marty over here. We will be talking sports, all things considered. We are going to be live on Twitch and also on the Traveling Drunks page on Facebook. If there's a topic you guys want talked about, please join in and just send us a message on there, or just have any comments whatsoever regarding how right or wrong we are. Mostly it's going to be how right we are, let's be honest. But yeah, anything like that, you want to talk shit to Stretch, anything that pops into your mind is fine. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys very much for hopefully tuning in. I'm gonna try to do the Dark Hour and all those guys some justice, and hopefully do just as awesome of a job as those guys. But anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and get it started. So what's the number one thing going on in sports right now? It's the NFL playoffs, right?
NFL playoffs, absolutely.
NFL playoffs. So, Marty, what are some of the spreads for this week's games? Let's go over those.
So right now it's Saints and Rams will be the early game. You have Saints -3. It's at -125. It actually just changed from -105, so some money must have just gone on to the Saints. As far as that game goes, either team, in my opinion, can win. I want to see like the best Super Bowl matchup possible. So I would love to see Saints and Chiefs. I think that gives the most like exciting game. All the best players. It doesn't happen very often where
1-1.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This was like the first year in a long time where it was the top 4 scoring offenses, so that's kind of how the league's going nowadays.
Yeah.
I think I would rather have the Saints. I had Todd Gurley in fantasy this year in a 16-team league.
16.
And somehow, yeah, 16-team league, and somehow didn't make the playoffs. So that just says something about the rest of my team.
Right.
But yeah, as far as that game goes,
who do you like in either one of those? I mean, with
I would have to go with the Saints. I just, when it gets this deep in the playoffs, you kind of have to go with, if all things are equal, when you're saying -3, it's almost, you're always getting 3 points for being at home.
I'm just getting ready to say that. Yeah, it's pretty much just right down the pipe, right?
Yeah, you're getting 3 points pretty much for being at home, so they're saying the teams are pretty much even. Saints at home in the Dome.
Yeah,
and
then
then
the Rams team kind of struggled last week as well, even at home.
Yeah, and then if you're going to go with either Goff or Breeze, you kind of have to go with Breeze. It kind of seems like it's his season. Before the season, a lot of people were picking him to win MVP, and then it kind of season played out the way a lot of people thought it would. They're almost even better than people thought.
Yeah.
And then the only reason I don't think he's going to win MVP is because Patrick Mahomes,
fucking monster.
Yeah, he kind of threw for 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards. It's kind of a big deal.
Not too bad. The guy's fucking ungoddamn real. As a rookie too, like we were talking about this actually before the show started, like just how difficult it is to come into this league as a true rookie, a true freshman, what have you, and dominate, not play well, but fucking dominate.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in letting the rook sit at least for a little bit. I'm not talking that you need to learn as much, like all the things that the guy in front of you is starting. Just learn the system, learn the offense, learn how things work, learn how quick these fucking defenses are. Because like I said earlier, like all those defenders were the best players on their team in college for the most part. And just learning the speed and learning the techniques and just learning from your quarterback's coach, your head coach, your offense coordinator, all those things I think are really underrated. And I think we talked about earlier with Baker. Like, I think we had a friendly disagreement on that. Like, I didn't think if they started him, he would be as good. But based on how he's playing, and you would get more majority of the vote, that he would be very good. So
yeah, I mean, if he starts from the beginning of the season, he might not have been as good. But he came in at halftime after
4 games.
Like,
I think?
Right before halftime, he came in. First drive, the team is electric after that. The crowd goes crazy, and I mean, it's hard to say, like you said, after it already happens, but if they win 1 or 2 more games, maybe they're in the playoffs. And you're talking about the Browns.
Oh, absolutely. We were. I say we. My mom's side of the family was from Cleveland, so I'm a diehard Cowboys fan. But I love me some Brownies. I have Browns gear, all that shit. But yeah, the last game against the Ravens. I mean, that was really cutting it down. They were going to be, if they won the game, they were 8-7-1 from 0-16 the year before. And on a down year where the Steelers were definite favorites to win that division, did they finish below 500? No, they were 9-7.
The Steelers, yeah. The crazy thing about that, you're talking about the Browns. Like what a, and I didn't think the podcast would start by talking about Browns football. I'm
so sorry.
We're talking about playoffs, and then all of a sudden we're talking about the Browns. But it goes where it goes. So I said it a couple of times. All my teams are Michigan. I'm a Michigan fan as far as like college football, everything. But it's a sad day when the only thing that a Lions fan had to hold up was, okay, at least we're not the Browns. Now, I would rather be a Browns fan than a Lions fan, and it's almost like not even a contest. I mean,
Jesus. That's just crazy how the storyline, I'm sure you don't want to get too into this, but that's just absolutely insane, the amount of talent that was on those Lions teams. And I mean, I'm sure you get a lot of, well, you're playing with divisions, Aaron Rodgers, but I mean, like, Matt Stafford's not a fucking pushover over there, and you had the best receiver in the league for years.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
did you chalk it up to defense, or did you chalk it up to no running game, or what did you chalk it up to?
I think a lot of it is coaching, and then at the same time, Matt Stafford at this point kind of is what he is. He's one of those guys where we were talking about Kirk Cousins earlier.
Yeah.
Where if you have everything else right on the team, if you have the defense right, and if you have like a decent running game, which he has never really had,
right.
If you have everything else right, you can win a Super Bowl with Stafford. But we haven't had the coaching right. We haven't had the defense right. And then so it just kind of is what it is. And then back to the Mayfield thing, when they start next year with the Steelers losing everybody they've lost, if Antonio Brown is gone,
he's 100% gone.
With the Bengals, they're the Bengals. They don't really care about winning.
They're the new doormat of that division. I can't believe I'm saying that they are.
And if Lamar Jackson starts as the quarterback next year for the Ravens, are the Browns going to be favored to win the division?
I love where you were going with that because I hate the Ravens more than I hate. Like I fucking hate that team. And
well, they're always boring, but they're always like pretty good.
Jesus, yeah, I'm not going to give them any credit. I'm not calling you wrong. I just you picked the wrong team to brag on in front of me. But yeah, I fucking can't stand that team. Lamar Jackson, I do not think is the answer. They don't have anybody on the bench that is the answer. Their defense played, I thought, a lot better than they should have last year. I'm definitely in the minority on that. I think this is the Browns' division next year. I mean, that's not crazy to say.
The Browns going to be favored to win the division next year. It's the Browns' year next year.
Suck ball sack.
I'd rather be a Browns fan, and it happens. It happened with the Saints, kind of. They were kind of going back to the playoffs. They're kind of going on a downward slope, and then you have that one draft where you get where you nail all your picks, and then
that helps.
Yeah, I mean,
Kamara's okay.
And it helps to have one of the best drafts. And then all of a sudden it can change like that. And then you look at the Browns. They got Myles Garrett. I mean, he missed kind of a year due to injury and everything. And then
and we lost arguably the best offensive lineman in all of football, Joe Thomas. He fucking retired.
I feel so bad for Joe Thomas.
I know, and you know that he loved Cleveland. It wasn't like he was quitting on them. He wanted to be able to walk when he's 45.
He's like, it hurts. I mean,
yeah, and he's like the biggest Cleveland supporter. He fucking loves that team, and it's not like we didn't have anybody else. Bitonio or whatever his name is, he just got named to the Pro Bowl. All that good shit. I think this team is looking really good. If Antonio Callaway, now that he doesn't have Josh Gordon to look up to, thank fucking God.
that's like the last thing that Callaway needs.
Don't even get me started, man. People were talking about, well, he can learn from him because he made so many mistakes. I'm like, he's currently making mistakes.
Yeah.
He failed a drug test while on probation. And look, I hate this. There's two sides of the spectrum here. You can call him fucking idiot. Why would you keep doing that? Why'd you keep doing that? I think this, because I did for forever. I think this actually goes, sorry, that little sober moment here, but sombering moment. I think there actually is something wrong with him. I think that because he clearly can't stop. He can't stop.
Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon. He cannot stop what he's doing.
Yeah.
So I think he needs to get some mental help.
Yeah, I don't think he's necessarily like addicted to weed because I don't know if that's actually like physically possible.
Yeah, I don't know.
But maybe something that is going on in his life that makes him feel better.
Or about his upbringing. Something's
all
up.
I can say is if I can pass a drug test to be a dishwasher at Sonny's Barbecue, he should be able to pass a drug test to be in the NFL.
Yeah,
you're Josh Gordon. You know you're going to get tested. Come on, just like just come up with some kind of a contraption or like a masker or some kind of like.
So you're not even telling him to stop. You're just telling him to just mask it. I'm pretty sure it's what he's probably doing.
Well, one or the other, man. Like,
it's something. If you can't stop,
if you said,
do this, right?
I know this is like a tired opinion, but if you say here's $10 million, don't smoke weed, I'm like, okay.
Well, I kind of likened it just to your point. I used to smoke weed for like a year hardcore, and then this is not really my thing.
Grew up.
My girlfriend, whose name will not be mentioned, does smoke a decent amount of weed. That's her thing. I'd much rather be drunk than high. So for me to say, oh, here's $10 million, don't smoke weed, I'm like, fuck yeah. But if here's $10 million, don't drink ever, I think I would actually have a problem with that. I seriously would.
What am I going to do with the $10 million?
Bail money, I guess, for getting out of, for failing all those drug tests. And, I might start up a cupcake shop like fucking Brian Arakpo and whatever his fucking name is. That's a true fucking thing, by the way. Look up Brian Arakpo. He just retired. He owns his own cupcake shop with a player. I can't remember the player's name because I fucking suck at sports. But I can't remember what his name is, but look it up. They're in like pink aprons. They have commercials.
I always thought he was going to be better than he was. I know his injuries.
Everyone did. His mom thought he was going to be better than that, and he's goddamn. And you can blame him on injuries and all that shit. But that dude was an absolute
Texas,
physical
right?
phenomenon coming out of Texas. And then he has a head like a fucking boulder. But he I guess he just never really pinned it. It was Skins for a while there, and then I guess ended up with the Titans.
Yeah. So going back to Rams and
getting
Saints.
somewhat on track here.
Right, yeah. Talk about the Rams and Saints for 2 seconds, and then talk about the Browns for 10 minutes.
I'm all right with that. You fucking know that. Yeah. Get it, son.
To go back to the Saints and Rams, who would you take in that game? Not talking about betting spreads or anything, just straight up, who do you think is going to win, Rams or Saints?
The Saints really did not show up, in my opinion, last week. I mean, I hate when people say should have, so I'm not going to say should have lost that game. But they very easily could have lost that game last week at home against the fucking 6-seed Eagles. I take the Saints not because of the home thing. I think of how the Rams showed up against my boys last week. The Rams played at home, and they really could have dug the knife in a little bit deeper. I don't know. I just thought that we got. Let me try to rephrase this. I think the Rams got really lucky last week that they got away with that because they put the ball on the ground twice. They got it back both times. They threw a pick right to fucking Cheeto's hands, and then he dropped it.
Then the call to go for it as well when he could have picked the field.
Then the call to go for it. I mean,
it worked.
Hindsight. I mean, Stretch has known me for a long time. I punt in Madden. Like I kick a field goal from the 2 in Madden. Like I'm the most conservative.
Talking about a Twitter bio earlier when we said all I do is watch sports. I punt in Madden.
That'd be a good Twitter handle. That might be my new one.
That's like an insult, though. That's like in College Game Day when they're holding up the signs. It's like Les Miles punts in Madden.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. That's so true, though. That's a total diss on somebody, and I totally do it. That's fucking really funny.
I get mad when people punt in real life. I'm like, if you're the Rams or the Saints,
probably shouldn't be punting.
I'm not a head coach, but I think there was a stat this last weekend for all the teams that won where 13 out of 15 going for it on 4th down. I'm like, yeah, you're the best offenses in the league. Go for it.
Yep.
I mean, was it Belichick? Somebody who was going for it on their own 35, 40-yard line, going for it.
It might have been the Cowboys.
Yeah.
We went for a couple 4th and 1s, and we decided to run directly at Aaron fucking Donalds. That worked out well.
Speaking back what you were saying about the Eagles last week against the Saints, as somebody who had a pretty good amount of money on the Saints, once the Eagles got the ball back at the end, I'm like, oh my God, I just lost. Because the week before, I messaged you guys on the thing. I was like, I don't want to jinx it because I have money on the Eagles on the money line. I had Michigan -9 and then the Eagles on the money line. And I was like, as soon as Foles got the ball back, I'm like, I don't want to jinx it, but here we go. The Eagles are going to win.
Here we go.
So as soon as I have money on the Saints, so as soon as Foles gets the ball, I'm like, oh my God, we're about to lose. We're about to lose right now to Nick Foles.
Unbelievable.
Lucky pick, bounced off the hands into the defender. I never celebrated so much because I saw this happening. What happened to me last year? Do you remember the Stephon Diggs play?
I remember exactly where I was.
Yeah, lost money on that play.
Oh, dude.
2-team parlay. I had the underdogs in both games. I think it was the Saints might have been an underdog,
Jesus
and
Christ.
the Jaguars were an underdog. And then as soon as Diggs, everybody was so excited about that play except for me.
Yeah, you and every other Saints fan on the planet, and anybody who had money on.
I was like, just tackle him, just do it.
That sucks, dude. I was at, of all places, Marlowe's Tavern that I've been to like 3 times in my life, and service was great. It was good. It was just I don't know why the fuck we were there, but yeah, we were there, and Ashley wanted to leave, and I was like, can we just stay for like 60 more seconds? She's like, yeah, no problem. And yeah. Oh, I said I wouldn't say her name, but whatever. That's her name.
Oops.
When I can say her name, her last name, it rhymes with Schmaze. But
so yeah, I think I have the Saints. I would just when it comes down to an even game like that, I would just trust the quarterback. I'm gonna take Breeze over Goff.
I'm listening to you. My computer's about to fucking die. So
yeah, it's okay. You're the only one. I would take Breeze over Goff, and then I mean, I don't know. Either one of those teams who wins, I'll be excited to see them in the Super Bowl. Something new and something exciting.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'd be really cool, and I mean, it sucks to say that, like, you know, I got this question actually a lot today from some people at work, and they're like, you know, oh shit, man, thank you so much, fucking MVP over here. Maybe not. Fuck it.
As a side tangent, when you said MVP right there, how many people do you think say you the real MVP who don't even know who Kevin Durant is?
Right? They don't even know where that fucking phrase is from. It makes me
so mad. I have people at work. They're like, you the real MVP, you're closing for me. I'm like, do you even know who Kevin Durant is?
You don't know what the fuck that is. Yeah, you fucking clown town. Anyways, well, our producer, Stretch, getting all fucking bully over here, our producer, Stretch, just plugged into my computer, so thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know. It sucks to say, like, who would you pick out of these 2 teams? I just honestly...
Either team could win, and I would be happy. And I don't think I bet on everything, and I'd say I won't bet on it because I don't know who's going to win. But I'll probably just take the Rams on the money line just for the value.
As far as Ashley knows, I'm not going to bet on this, but I'm definitely betting on this game. I'll probably go, to be honest with you, I'll probably take Saints -3 for sure. And then, but that line scares me though. Like, why isn't that higher? I understand the Rams are good. Why isn't that line higher?
Well, I feel like
we'll wait to see where that goes until
people
Saturday.
were down on the Rams. Like, the beginning of the season, it's like, oh, Rams. Everybody's on the Rams. And then, as soon as it got later in the season, Gurley missed a couple games. He was kind of hurt. And then everyone's like, oh, the Rams aren't as good. I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, look at the Saints. I mean, look at the Chiefs without Kamara. But
the Saints without Kamara, yeah.
I might just take the over and just root for like a fun game.
That's sometimes the best bet if you don't give a shit about
are these teams not going to score?
Right, because I definitely had the over in the Saints Eagles game last week, and it was like 53. I'm like, I'll buy like 2.5. I got like 50.5.
Did you do anything? What was it?
Fucking unbelievable.
What was it earlier this season? It was Chiefs and Rams, right? And
Rams,
I think the over under was like 72.
Unbelievable.
It was something crazy.
Yeah, and then they ended up scoring like 75.
It was like a Big 12 college spread or college total.
And they met it.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah. I did not touch that one. I like betting unders a lot. Everybody hates doing that because they want to pull for scores, but
you get value on the under because everyone wants to bet on the over.
And you're already winning no matter what. As soon as kickoff is, you're already winning. You're not like, okay, I need this to win.
It's one of those things. One of the bets. You know, you like hockey a lot. I like to do the favorite if it's like a heavy favorite, like minus a goal and a half, because you always have the scenario at the end where they're going to pull the goalie and you can have the empty netter. And then whenever I do that, inevitably the team is up 3 and they wind up winning by 1.
So I had a huge parlay in well, that's a boring story. But anyways, I had a huge parlay and I lost because of an empty netter. Anyways.
I could do an entire podcast about bets I almost won.
Right. Oh, of course. And everybody, it's like talking about your fantasy team.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Nobody gives a shit but you. But to you, it's the greatest story of all time.
Yeah.
You're going to understand my fucking pain. Well, I kind of do. But I'm already over it. I've experienced my own. Shut up and take a shot at Jameson, and we'll get past it.
One quick one I had the year, must have been 3 years ago when Broadway Pizza was still open. I had Tom Brady to lead the league in passing yards. It was when they thought he was going to get suspended, but he wound up not getting suspended.
Yeah.
So I got it in when he was going to get suspended. He wound up not.
So your odds are fucking fantastic.
So I think it would have been like 50 or 100 to win some crazy amount. The amount doesn't matter. He led the league in passing every single week except the last week because they were ahead. So all Belichick did, he started Brady, but all he did is they ran the ball. Brady had like 8 passes.
You remember in 2006? That was the Seahawks-Steelers Super Bowl.
That's the first Super Bowl I ever bet on.
Oh shit! Well, there you go.
Yes.
So the last play of the regular season, fucking look it
I
up.
had the Seahawks, we lost.
Seahawks, yeah. The Seahawks, Sean Alexander was 1 yard away from the rushing title, and they had the ball 3rd and 1 on the 2, and they chose to pass, and Sean Alexander flipped a fucking hissy fit because he didn't give a shit if their fucking team won. He just won the rushing title.
I would have taken the ball out of the who was the quarterback at that time?
Matt Hasselbeck.
I would have taken the ball out of Hasselbeck's hand.
This is mine.
I would have been the first to do the Wildcat. and I'm running it as many times as it takes.
Matt Hasselbeck went to University of Boston College. You can look that up. Sean Alexander went to University of Alabama. I actually saw him score 5 touchdowns at a game in Alabama one time. Sean Alexander is the weakest runner of all time. For as big as he was, he would.
What do you mean, like the opposite of Marshawn Lynch?
Yeah, he would. Yeah, Marshawn Lynch like kind of
Like
looks
the
for
Ted
contact.
Ginn of running backs?
Yeah, or any receiver for the Rams or Colts in the early 2000s. Like as soon as you got that ball, fucking hit the deck. Yeah, it was at Torrey Holt. He went to NC State, and then Isaac Bruce. God, I don't even know where Isaac Bruce went to college. That's a tough one. But and then for the
That was a little before my time.
oh, anyways, well, no, this is like 2003. Well, anyway, either way. Yeah, so I guess that's our NFL for right now.
Well, I think we're both going with Saints, right? I mean,
they're
regardless,
both going with Saints.
regardless
and then,
of spread.
Chiefs, I mean, I think I would probably bet. Well, look at that money line though, because you got minus 155,
Well,
minus 185.
that's Pat's though.
I know, but I'm saying
Yeah.
like Saints are minus 185, and I'm saying the Chiefs are 155. So like it would be
Yeah.
smart. Thank you so much.
I don't know. It's got to be Saints.
fucking over here.
As I say, it's got to be Saints. It's definitely going to be the Rams by like 30 now. Whatever I say, don't do it.
Right.
It's been better lately, but. So you go Patriots, Chiefs. Yeah, everybody wants the Patriots to lose. They're going to win by like 30, clearly.
Probably.
It doesn't make any sense.
Mahomes is going to throw 4 picks, and everybody's going to be like, we knew he was going to
makes
bullshit.
I had a lot of people saying that to me at the beginning of the season. I'm like, why are so many people rooting against Patrick Mahomes? Because
he's done really nothing bad except
no, I had people at work. I mean, obviously, like I said, the 16 team.
Thanks. What's up?
The 16-team fantasy league, it's most people at my job, and this guy's rooting against Patrick Mahomes. He's like, oh, he's never going to keep it up. He's never going to keep at this pace. I'm like, why would you say that? Like, if you watched him in college, and then if you watched all that. To go off on a side tangent, what you were saying earlier about quarterbacks sitting for a year, I don't think what Patrick Mahomes is doing now was learned by Alex Smith.
You know, that's my boy. I love Alex Smith. I fucking love that.
It's almost impossible to think that.
Yeah.
It's almost like he watched Alex Smith last year and said, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do the opposite.
How can our offense improve? Oh, in every category. All right, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah. Well, except for turning the ball over, because neither one really turns the ball over.
How can I complete 30 passes for 80 yards?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the opposite of that. I'm gonna throw it left-handed. I'm gonna throw it underhanded, and
show him how easy this bitch is.
And I'm gonna go off my back foot and throw it to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
It's insane. I have people argue with me all the time, like, oh, Alex Smith, he did the same thing with the same people. It's like, no. If you look at the stats this year, it's insane.
If you're drinking at home, hopefully you will be next week with us. But cheers.
Every time we talk about Alex Smith, you take a shot. This is gonna be the only one.
The fucking thing next week is gonna be a bunch of Alex Smith.
This is gonna be the only one. Trust me.
But yeah.
So, anyways, Alex Smith.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I have no idea why at the beginning of the season people were so eager to be like, oh, Mahomes will never keep this up, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, don't you want to watch good football? Like, I want to see him do insane things.
Well, they're not saying they're not hoping for it. They're just saying they didn't think it was going to happen. I'll throw my hat in that ring. Like, I didn't think, Cliff Kingsbury threw for all the... Who fucking Joey Harrington? In 2003, lit the fucking NCAAs up. And you know about Joey Harrington, Mr. Lions fan.
7th grade quarterback gets scholarship offer from Jim Harbaugh.
Jesus Christ. Your boy.
Anyways.
Your boy.
So anyways.
Yeah, just because they threw a lot in college doesn't mean they're going to do very well in pro. Like I was just bringing up Joey Harrington. We can bring up any quarterback from USC almost ever.
Yeah.
Even though I fucking love Matt Leinart. Matt, if you're watching, you're my boy.
Yeah. The Bush push.
Well, God, that game was fucking nuts too.
Yeah. The second most recent runner to have 100 yards for the Lions, Reggie Bush.
Oh yeah, were you a part of that? I talk about it all the time. I think you were. I was working at Castaways, and we had this huge fucking thing about, like, can you name the last person to rush for 1,000 yards for the Lions?
No, because I would have done it.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's probably true. It took us fucking forever. We were, of course, fucking idiots are chiming in like, what are you talking about? We tell them about Barry Sanders. You just enjoy your fucking Bud Light and your fucking 10% tip, you degenerate. And we'll just let the adults talk about sports. Everybody thinks they know about sports. They're I love. Okay, well, but what do you? I'm a big football fan. Okay, well, do you watch hockey? No, fuck that. Okay, you watch basketball? No, fuck, they're overpaid. Well, you're not a big sports fan then. You fucking know about one of your shitty fucking team.
You know another thing too. I went out to watch the Patriots game. Hot takes.
Sorry.
He's already typing it. He already knew what you were gonna say. So I went to watch the Patriots game, and I realized people don't like sports or football. They like their own teams. I was out. It was the Patriots Chargers game, and I'm at a sports bar, and nobody's there. In a place where I can never get a parking spot. Shit. I'm not going to say the name of the place. You got to pay for the advertising.
Oh yeah. Hey. Dude, it's this guy,
you know who I'm talking about. Never get a parking space there.
I like it. All right.
Yeah, but so I went there, and it's like 20 minutes before the game, and there's nobody there. I'm like, nobody really actually cares about football or any team other than their own. Like, if it's a UCF or a Dolphins game, everyone's out, but you're not going to watch a playoff game?
Maniac gamblers like us who are going to be out. I mean, a lot of people said, because, that was kind of a crazier weekend, the national championship had just happened the week before, a lot of people might have been down on money, but I agree with you there, man.
I guess. I worked in restaurants a long time, and people generally come up with whatever excuse, like, it's going to be busy because it's a Wednesday and it's after a holiday.
Yeah, you're totally right on that.
Oh, it's slow because it's after a holiday. Oh, it's a weekend. You have to think
of something that comes up. Oh,
like,
well, you had to do this.
No, it's either busy or it's slow.
That's what it is. Not because of one single reason, other than the fact there's asses in seats or there's not asses in seats.
Yeah.
I think you're actually 100% right on that.
You want food or you don't.
Yeah. So, but yeah, to your point, that's nuts that nobody was coming out for that game. I guess, so Patriots fans kind of suck.
So yeah, well, I mean,
whatever. Cowboys fans are the worst. I'll say it. I'm a Cowboys fan. Cowboys fans suck, except for my boy Lee.
For NFL, you think the Cowboys fans are the worst? My roommate's a Cowboys fan.
See, this opinion is so crazy because if you're from SoCal, then you're going to say that probably like the Chargers fans are the worst, or if you're from Texas, you're going to say Cowboys fans are the worst. Or if you're from fucking Oregon, you're probably going to say Seahawks fans are the worst.
It depends on your definition of the worst, though. If you're talking about showing up for games, it's obviously either Rams or Chargers fans.
well, okay, so you mean so categories.
What do you categorize as worse? Like you're talking about a team that has 50% of the other fans showing up when you're playing the Rams or the Chargers, and none of these people show up to the game.
My 2 cents on that is that every single, and we all know these type of people, is your typical Cowboys fan who's going to say, well, yeah, I'm a Cowboys fan. Oh, really? They're doing pretty well this year. Yeah, well, I mean, I used to watch like back in like the 90s and they're really
cool.
good.
Name an offensive lineman.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's my go-to.
Yeah.
By the way, you're a Florida fan, I'm a Michigan fan. We won't really talk about the game too much. But
we will not. It's okay.
But I had some people behind me, these 2 girls, cheering about the Gators every time they did something against Michigan. And it took all I could. Well, I was gonna say it took all I had not to turn around and say it, but I really did.
But you did.
Say it. Yeah. I did it.
They didn't name
and
Ivy or anybody.
I said name a lineman. Name the quarterback.
Yeah. Mine is, that's funny. My aunt, who's actually the biggest Browns fan I know, they live in Nashville. They have like season tickets to the Cleveland Browns, and her go-to is always
those are going up.
That's how we roll, bitch.
It's an investment.
I gotta show you a fucking video of their basement later. It's like the ultimate fan zone in there. It's like unbelievable. But anyways, yeah. Well, I always say like if you're a hockey fan, you claim you're a hockey fan. Who's your goalie? Because a lot of people don't know that. I mean, I
feel like that's the one person they would know. No.
Shockingly, no. Whenever I say I'm an Edmonton Oilers fan, I'll meet them and I'm like, oh yeah, man, fucking Cam Talbot's having a hell of a year. They're like, yeah,
Talman.
yeah, fucking Salmon's great. Are you fucking shitting me? And then if you're like an NFL fan, a lot of times you can say like, who's your kicker? But if you know who your holder is, or your long snapper, LaDoucher for the Cowboys, by the way.
I mean, that's a little bit too hard of a test for me. Because I could not tell you who the Michigan Wolverines holder is.
Well, other than Ivy, I don't know.
I can tell you the backup quarterback is. That's a pretty good guess. That's usually who the holder is.
Yeah. Or the punter a lot of times. And I'm going to go ahead and sneak my way out of this conversation as a Cowboys fan about holding kicks.
Yeah,
so let's just go ahead.
Romo.
Yeah. Hey,
that ball was very shiny. It was very slippery. I'll say that.
I don't know if we have enough time for me to get onto that. But
who was the Alabama holder, I want to know, who Nick Saban thought could get 6 yards against the Clemson defense?
Dude, it's not even like... Like, okay, so you call a fake field goal. So if it's not there, that's fine. Just kick the ball. Who is the fucking idiot who's in charge of being like, okay, if we, because a lot of players don't see the behind the scenes stuff. You probably know this more than me. I never played football, but like, you have to know. Okay, so if they give you this look, go with it. If they don't give you this look, kick the fucking field goal. You can see the kicker look up and go, or the holder and go.
We got it. When you hear the announcer say, "Watch out for the fake,"
then it's probably a fake. Yeah.
Like when not to go all Mike Francesa, but I feel like I could coach a team. But when the announcer says, "Watch out for the fake here," and Clemson is clearly in that Madden.
Like 4-3.
Clemson is.
It wasn't even like a safe zone.
They have Gronkowski out there waiting for the fake. Yeah. Clemson is clearly waiting for the fake, and then the holder's like, "I got this."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, also
he might as well have the blindfold on from the Bird Box Challenge because he's not going to make it.
It's not even like Clemson's defensive line sucked. Like, there's the greatest defensive line, arguably in the history of college football. Right. It's unbelievable. But, anyways, yeah, I lost a decent amount of money on that game.
No. So just to get into like personal and betting, as I said, degenerate. I could just change my name from Marty to just degenerate.
Well, I can announce you that.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you have a nickname. I gotta have a nickname.
Bredigans Degenerate. There we go.
Just degenerate.
It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, it does. So I have $25 on. I did a parlay on Clemson. I think it was plus 5.5, and then I had the over. And then I'm like, this is the degenerate part. I can't just have $25. It's a national championship. It's like neither team is my team, but I'm like, I gotta put more.
You gotta put money on it.
I gotta put more.
Yeah.
So I put $30 on the Clemson money line, and I wound up winning like $120 on the game. And it's like pretty clear early on. I'm like,
handed my phone to you.
But the thing about that is, it's not even like I was a smart gambler or better in that. I was like, I'm just only betting because I don't want
just because.
Yeah.
That's what it is a lot of times.
I only want Alabama not to win. I want Michigan to win, and I want Alabama not to win. Those are my two things.
As a diehard SEC fan, and we get a bad rep, but we'll get into all of this later on. Throughout the season.
Florida fans are terrible.
Florida fans are pieces of shit. But,
see, you meant it.
Yeah, but look, I consider myself the greatest fan of all time. Like, it's never fucking over until it's
What's
over.
The criteria?
You text me all the time about that shit. Dude, people drive me fucking nuts. I'll leave games in the third quarter or third period, depending on what sport you're playing, or it'll be fourth quarter with like 3 minutes left, and they're down by like 2 touchdowns. I'm like, are you fucking? Why are you saying this game's up?
Did you not learn anything from the Heat?
What's going
from
on
the Heat
here?
fans?
Yeah, locking the
They're
fucking
like
doors.
zombies in The Walking Dead.
They must have channeled all the. I must have like fucking. Like what the fuck is the youngest? Goddamn, I'm losing it. The Game of Thrones child, Bran. I like brand all of those fucking people to like lock the doors and make sure no asshole got
hold
back in.
The door
and hold the door. There we go. We got all sorts of fucking comebacks there. Yeah,
it's the Heat in the game when they came back and all the fans.
The Spurs.
And then
2013, right?
And then Riley's just outside like, hold the door.
Yeah, get the fucking out of here. Unfucking believable. Or yeah, I mean I can.
You can never leave. So I went. So I went to.
You're a shitty fan.
I went to the Orange Bowl with my girlfriend. Rhymes with Smithany. Like you
much
said,
more of a gentleman than me, because I can't.
You said it rhymes with Smashley, but
well, I actually said actually a lot, but yeah.
So we go to the Orange Bowl, and I'm like, babe, if we're down 40 points, we're staying. We paid money for these tickets. We're staying.
You paid money, and you sure fan. Like what? I'm sorry to cut you really quick, but okay. So what bad can come if you're an X fan and you're playing Y? If X is getting beat by 40 points and all their fans stay in the stadium until the last second, everybody on the planet is going to be talking about is, man, how awesome were those fucking fans?
So the benefit is seeing the greatest comeback, and the negative is, I got to wait in traffic. Like,
yeah,
you paid for the tickets.
You paid to watch your fucking team play. If you're out of the stadium, how does your team feel? Like, they fucking suck. I get it, pro's a little bit different than college and all that shit, but this drives me fucking nuts. I'm actually upset that you're with me on this, because I would love to debate this with you, but you're actually on my side with this. It makes you like a semi-sane person.
What were you saying against you on as far as what?
No, I was almost wishing that you were saying that you should leave. Like, well, whatever. I pay for the ticket. I can do with what I want. I do that with beer. People scream me all the time. You're fucking alcohol.
I went to one
abuse.
Magic game last year.
Put a bitch on the ground.
I went to one Magic game last year. It was against the Thunder. I bet on the Thunder. It was the one game where the Magic beat the Thunder. How the hell is that possible?
Because we're fucking badasses.
No, because you suck. So it's the one game. And somehow the Magic beat the Thunder by 30. I'm like,
oh, that's how we roll.
I'm like, we're downtown, we're staying, we paid for the tickets. Like, what are we in a hurry to go home? Like,
yeah.
I got to get to bed a half an hour early. Like, no, we're staying.
Yeah, exactly. If you already bought the tickets and you had to get to bed early,
I want to watch
the
Thunder's bench try to come back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's unfucking real.
Somehow we got to the Magic.
Love it. Had to reel it in there. He's good. He's trying to get sponsors, and he mentioned the Magic and Cleveland. We're a whole fucking tangent. I swear, you must have like a list somewhere.
What were we talking about? We were talking about the Patriots and Chiefs.
Yeah, and we got to the Orlando Magic.
Yeah. Nobody wants the Patriots. Everybody wants the Chiefs. Patriots are going to win by 30.
Done.
Anyways, move on from that. Patriots +3, plus 135. Yeah, I guess nobody learned anything last week. It's like
no.
There were some theories out there where Belichick kind of tanked the regular season. This is obviously not true, but tanked the regular season to where, okay, every time we dominate a season, they have investigations. So we're dominating, and they have Deflategate. We're dominating, they have Spygate. Okay, so now this year we're going to act really regular, and then, all of a sudden, I told my friend who I was with when I was watching the game, James White, 15 catches, 1,000,000 yards. What does it happen? They don't need Gronkowski. Like, how is this possible?
Unreal. To all of the however many people are watching, I'm so sorry. I've been trying to refresh the shit out of my laptop, and I just now scroll all the fucking way down. So I've just liked every single comment that's ever been on there. So Chad, my boy, says I leave in the.
Like it.
He says I leave.
Whoa!
He says I leave in the second quarter. Is what Chad said. He's of course kidding.
It's not even worth driving downtown.
No, Chad's a fucking maniac. He's hilarious. Chad's actually a big Jaguars fan.
Yikes!
I will give him credit though. He's a hardcore Jags fan.
That went downhill fast.
He's he knows his shit about the Jaguars. I mean, obviously a piece of shit person, but no, he's.
So I kind of feel like almost Jalen Ramsey is like the new Josh Norman. I mean, I think he's better, but he's kind of going on the same trajectory.
I can't wait.
So he's going to be on the Patriots next year, almost for sure. I don't know his contract status. I'd have to look it up. For some reason, I know the entire Pistons. Contract status and who we have under contract. I don't know Jalen Ramsey's contract status.
I bet you Chad does. Really quick, before he chimes in on this, because he will. So my favorite player of all time in NBA is Grant Hill, and I hate the Pistons. And I know it's blasphemy around here because everybody, as Magic fans, you fucking hate him. Carson Tinker is our he's my boy. Carson Tinker is our long snapper. I fucking love it.
Yeah, but he's got the internet too.
No. I guarantee he's fucking at home watching us with his fucking stupid child because he didn't pull out. It's like sleeping on his chest, and then he's like doing all this.
Grant Hill is not allowed to be your favorite player. I hate Grant Hill.
Okay, so I would love to hear your 2 cents on this because he was
the
next close.
So that's pretty much it.
Oh yeah, all right. Well, I'll buy that. I thought you were going to go on a whole Piston thing about why he left you guys and all this shit. No, Grant Hill was the closest thing to Jordan.
Everybody betrays my sports teams. I mean,
gotcha.
We have Tom Brady for Michigan.
He betrayed you by going there.
Well, he's the best quarterback of all time. Well, but he just does nothing at Michigan. We can't win anything.
That's how I feel about all the Miami players. Like we produce all the best pros. I'm like, what the fuck have you won with them in the past 1.7 decades, Sevi? Because the rest is 2 decades, so it's 1.7. Sevi made that comment today. You saw that Ryan Peace post? That was fucking funny.
Who are you talking about?
One of my good buddies, my boss actually. He's a big Miami fan, and so everybody, our good friend Ryan Patrick Williams likes to talk about how all these Miami fans like to live in the past, and they have been relevant for the past 2 decades.
Yeah, they're almost back.
Like 1.7.
I heard they're almost back.
Almost back.
Yeah,
almost.
They were back, and then they were not back anymore, and now they're going to be back again.
But I know our producers not.
Well, their coach has a Hispanic name, so they're definitely going to be really good now. They're going to recruit the shit out of South Florida.
Okay, well, now our racist comments out of the way for the night, so there's
No,
that.
I'm saying
But,
like everyone's excited about Manny Diaz. It's like that's such a the way they hire coaches is like, okay, this team's defense was good. Let's hire the defensive coordinator. Oh, so it wasn't the players, it was the defensive coordinator. It's like, no, you had these players. It's like Ohio State takes the coordinator from Michigan. It's like that's fine. It was the players and it's the recruiting. It's not the everybody when they can't explain what's going on with the sports team, why they're better than people thought. It's always about the coaching.
yeah,
And I don't think
or
it
the
matters
refs.
that much, honestly.
Well, it could also mean like, okay, look, if you to your point, I'm not saying you're wrong, but okay, let's say that you bring said awesome defense coordinator over, you have to give that guy like 3 or 4 years, and even then he has to not miss a single beat. If you're the defensive coordinator, let's just say I don't know, fucking Michigan. Michigan had like the top 5 defense last year.
Don Brown.
So,
Well,
if you take
in Michigan's case, it is the coordinator. He's really good.
Okay.
But this is my team.
So
every other coordinator
So
sucks.
if you have him and then all of a sudden you move him to, let's say, fucking Texas. Let's just say he goes to Texas, and now all of a sudden, hang on, did you hear me out here? So if you go to Texas, and now in 3 years the defense is still like 160th. You're not supposed. Well, there's 335, whatever, at the NCAA one division teams. If they're still like 160, let's say they're fucking 100. That's still not his fault. He didn't recruit most of those players that were there. And let's say Michigan still is doing well. Like you have to go to this new place, recruit, have those new recruits come in 3 to 4 years, and not only have those come in and be okay, they have to be fucking dominant. Because all the ones that you had recruited for the past 3 years of your old school, you have other people to pick up the slack from that. Does that make any sense? So you're
saying it's more coordinators or players? Or recruiters?
I was just saying that I think that people should get a little bit more of a leeway if you're a coordinator going somewhere else. This is why Chad's my boy. Or you could be like the Raiders and pay Gruden for the next decade because he was good at TV analysis. He was awful at TV analysis.
Well, the
because
Gruden
he was
thing,
fucking the worst. Thank you, Chad, for getting me on a fucking roll. Now I'm gonna let you go ahead, Marty, because I got
the Gruden thing is insane. It's like, how is this guy qualified to get $10 million a year for $100 million?
Not that. How is he qualified to talk about quarterbacks?
So what does he do when he's in like the locker room? He's like, I love everybody. This guy is my grinder of the week. Like,
yeah. Oh, people are dying to play for the Raiders.
He was a terrible broadcaster. It's like, what quarterback went with John Gruden in the room? He's like, half of those quarterbacks I'd be thinking like, this guy doesn't know anything.
This is the fucking maniac who fucking drafted all these fucking clowns and brought in all these fucking shitty quarterbacks. But he's the big quarterback guru. He has a fucking show that's called Gruden's Quarterback Corner, all this stupid shit.
Somebody had to carry on Al Davis's legacy because you can't just.
That's true. You can't be sane and do that, right?
You can't just have anybody drafting whoever ran a 4.2. You can't just have anybody draft Darius Hayward Bay. Somebody's got to carry on the legacy.
Someone has to get in there and draft Robert Gallery from Iowa, who couldn't block a 4-year-old with a broken leg.
Yeah,
he's just fucking awful. I think you're right. Maybe they knew he wasn't going to be good.
Maybe
I've actually never heard that.
Maybe Al Davis's spirit is inside of John Gruden.
I like where Marty's going with this. I've never heard that before.
Because now he has all these draft picks next year. I cannot wait to see how.
Instead of it being
the first
like
time I'm going to curse on the podcast. I cannot wait to see how John Gruden fucks it up next year with all these draft picks.
We're getting it.
Because it is guaranteed he's going to take the most terrible players in the draft.
Fuck, we're working our way up to cunt. We'll get there. I promise. They're both the same letter words. They both got the same letter firepower. Get the and the.
I wasn't even trying not to curse. I just didn't think about him.
It's all right. It's fine. You don't have to. It's all right. It doesn't make your point any more valid.
I'm talking about old school earlier. Fuck, shit, bitch, cock, balls.
That's right. Old school. Yeah, that's right. The movie Old School. Yeah, Gruden's a fucking piece of shit. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
Speaking of the draft, though, like...
You know what's a good idea? Trading one of the best defensive players ever.
Yeah. Chad Steven. Did you know this stat? Khalil Mack had more sacks than the entire Raiders.
I bet he did.
And then after he trades him, he says, we're looking for someone to pressure the quarterback. I'm like, you know who you had, right? A guy named Khalil Mack.
And as a Cowboys fan, thank you so much for a 3-5 Cowboys team. All we do is get one wide receiver from you, and we won the division.
Well,
we didn't make the playoffs. We made the division.
That trade at the time was not looked at as like, I was like, a first-round pick for Amari Cooper? It turns out it's kind of like the Oladipo thing, where it's like this.
I had our back on that.
Yeah,
I had
but you're a Cowboys
you never
fan,
know.
so you're gonna.
No, I'm a very. Well, you don't know me yet. But I'm a very like but I don't know what you want to call it. Like
you would at the time, you were like, okay, a first-round pick for Amari Cooper, that's good. He
I'll
had
say
done nothing.
stupid shit all the time. I thought trading Trent Richardson was awful for the Browns, and he got tackled by a pile of ants.
I thought that too. I thought the Trent Richardson one was bad.
But yeah, I mean, I thought so as well. I can't remember.
No, when you say it, it's not going in the thing.
But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was also a bad trade. So I mean, I like to be.
I also didn't want to trade Golden Tate, and then he has like one of the biggest catches of the year for the Eagles.
But he did not play very well for them the rest of the season. As a fantasy owner, I know he didn't.
I understood it as far as the contracts go. Like a lot of football fans don't want to look at the contracts like, oh, it's just a bad trade in general. It's like, well, we weren't going to pay him either way.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like a 1 year fucking thing. Okay, so I mean, I was just begging for a way to get into baseball, and it sucks that I have to brag on the fucking shitty ass Yankees. So for like that Troy Tulowitzki trade, I could be wrong on this, but from what I understand about it, they're like, well, why would you trade for another middle infielder where you still have Gleyber Torres and Didi Gregorius is still coming out? Like, well, you trade for Tulowitzki because the Toronto is paying for all of his contract. You're paying like $900,000 for 1 year for a guy who has a bunch of playoff experience, who can play multiple positions around the infield. And if he sucks, then who gives a shit? Someone else is paying his $20 million contract. You're losing fucking nothing.
Yeah.
And you know what? If
it's
he
not
comes
like
out
you're
to be
worried
this
about
big,
money either way. It's
exactly.
Not like
if he comes out to be this big playoff fucking like Haas, or he just crushes during the season, now you look like these big G's.
They're not cashing their coins out at Coinstar. Like they're not too worried about it.
No. Yeah, the fucking Yankees suck ball sack, but whatever. Who gives a shit? I'm like a biggest Aaron Judge fucking hater as well. I can't stand that guy.
Why?
I just don't think he's very good. I think they're going to figure him out. Kind of what your friends were telling you about Mahomes. I think he's going to get found out. Giancarlo Stanton. I wouldn't take him on the Cubs either. I'm a huge Cubs fan, but Judge strikes out 300 times a year.
Judge is better than Stanton in my opinion because Stanton's like he can't hit anything. If he's down in the count, he's done. Like
I would argue for both.
I've seen him swing at shit that. It's insane. Like, who swings them?
We both don't like either one of these. Well, I don't like Stanton really at all. And the fact that he won the MVP over fucking Paul Goldschmidt a couple years ago drives me nuts. It's only because he had 50 home runs.
It's all about market.
No, what are we talking about market? The Marlins had no market. He won the MVP with the Marlins. The Marlins have less fans, and we're in a bar with 20 people. The Marlins have less fans at their stadium than here. But fucking Paul Goldschmidt. By the way, Public House is awesome. I
think it might be a tie, but
a push. We'll call it a push in gamblers' terms. But Paul Goldschmidt is, I think, the best player in the National League, and I would trade him for Rizzo right now.
Right, but Rizzo, nobody's trading for Rizzo.
No, if I was the Cubs, I would trade away Rizzo for Goldschmidt.
Yeah, but the Diamondbacks are not doing that.
Well, they don't have to because they don't have him anymore. He's on the Cardinals.
Well, so as far as what was I going to say?
Probably something about how Judge sucks, because he is. I agree with you. The guy's just
I don't think Judge sucks.
He's so overrated. He's a liability. He's going to be a liability to play for sure. Strikes out all fucking.
He's so young though. You can't just judge a player like he's going to get better.
We'll see. I mean, you know why we
can't argue with that.
You know why I can't? Yeah. You know why I can't list all the names of the players who got really bad after they were really good? Because we never heard from them again.
I think this is what we're gonna say. I think Miami is a bigger market than Arizona, and I don't think it's a tie, and it's not because they live in Florida. Arizona is pretty much a nothing market as far as
Diamondbacks always are in the playoffs.
Yeah, but nobody cares about the Diamondbacks.
Oh, it's friendly disagree with that. I actually like the Diamondbacks a lot. I think they have to have. I'm gonna look up their attendance.
You think, okay, so do you want to do a $5 bet? What attendance is better, the Marlins or the Diamondbacks?
I'll bet my bar tab right now. Okay, just for the sake of it, because I'm not going to get... okay, how about this? I'll bet you 20 to win, and you bet 10. Also, if I win, I win 10. If you win,
also,
you win 20.
They lie about attendance too, though, so...
Not, without a doubt. Without a doubt. let's go 30. If the
30
Diamondbacks
bucks?
if the Diamondbacks have less, no, you're risking 10 and you're winning 30. I'll give you 3-1 odds. Diamondbacks have a better attendance than the Marlins over the past, I don't even go years, but definitely this year. Yeah, you pulled up, so you know I'm not even.
Wait, are we talking about this past year, or are we talking
That's
about?
what are you talking about?
Maybe.
I thought we were doing this past year.
Well, maybe
Damn,
this past.
I wrote them in too quickly. I should have said the 10. I started giving odds.
Well, no, it hurts. It also hurts when you trade away the last 2 MVPs. So let's say 3 years ago.
Oh well, now we're not even. I mean, it would be close. So we'll do 10 and 10 on that. We'll do 10 and 10 on that.
I'll do 3 years ago, and I'll do 10 for 10. Because
I'll bet you a high five on last year because I bet Diamondbacks tripled whatever the Marlins had. That's why I was doing the 3 for 10.
Well, last year the team was trash.
Well, you also said that last year that you say the Miami fan base is better than the Diamondback fan base or the Arizona, excuse me.
I don't
basketball down there
maybe
too?
I wouldn't say better necessarily. I don't think they're that much different.
Okay, I mean,
I don't see people in Arizona like dying to go out to Diamondbacks.
they have all the big pro sports over there. I mean, you still got the Cardinals, and it's not like
That's fine. I mean, the Rays made the playoffs and they couldn't sell out. It doesn't necessarily.
But that's
mean how
also
good
not
they
in
are.
Tampa, and it's not a baseball stadium, and
But Arizona, I don't think of as like a baseball town.
yeah. I mean,
I would almost.
I don't think they would say that either, but I think their fan base is really good.
The college football teams in Arizona get more draw than the Diamondbacks. That's probably for sure.
I mean, they also seat probably 40,000 more, but I don't know.
How the hell did we wind up talking about Arizona sports?
I like this bet. I still like Diamondbacks getting. I would say the Diamondbacks probably average.
It's a very niche bet. 3 years ago, who had a better attendance, the Marlins or the Diamondbacks?
I'd say the Diamondbacks probably average 29,000. Maybe I'll go 30.
Well, 29 is decent though.
Well, I mean, the Cubs average like 41, so I've been trying to go from
Right, but
down
they're the
from
Cubs.
there. So I'd say the Diamondbacks probably averaged 29,000 fans.
The Marlins last year probably had like
13.
13,000. That's how
I'd say 29 to 13.
But that's because they sold
And
the
I
team.
would say that the Arizona Wildcats in football probably averaged around 20.
Well, Arizona State is better than Arizona. I mean, Arizona has Khalil Tate.
Well, who's supposed to be the
Thank God,
Heisman Trophy winner, yeah.
I was going to bet him as a dark horse Heisman. Thank God I didn't. Are we doing 3 years ago, or what numbers do you have?
Well, whatever you feel comfortable with, because I'll bet both. I know he won't bet the last year because he already knows I bet him on that. But
Yeah.
we'll do 10 and 10 3 years ago when the Marlins were pretty good.
10 for 10 3 years ago.
So, sorry, you're talking about 2016?
Sure.
18, 17, 16.
When they still had Stanton and Yelich.
You want to go 2016, 2015, or 2017?
I'll take all of them.
Any of
Doesn't
them?
matter. I'll take all of them, whatever he wants.
Am I going to lose? Am I
going
going to lose no matter what?
Oh, he doesn't know. He's just looking at links to all 3 years.
Wait, I want
whichever year you want. I bet the Diamondbacks. And the Diamondbacks have not been good for.
I want Jose Fernandez too that year.
Oh, fuck off. It still would be close.
Whatever, 10 for 10. Give me 2016.
2016?
2016.
2 years ago?
Absolutely.
10 for 10. I gotta move some accounts around in my mind.
You
I'm checking my savings.
Marty, you lost.
Damn it! What is it? Is it close?
It's within like 300,000.
That's not close. That's 300,000 people. That's like twice the amount of people in this bar right now. They can't see it. They don't know.
About 300,000 people is the difference.
I'll take it. But whatever.
Is that for the whole season?
Yeah.
So that's actually kind of close.
Yeah, well, I knew it wasn't per game. That couldn't have been that much. But
So per game,
if you
over
wanna go
182.
per game-
That's
yeah,
like, that's
per
like
game is kind of what we were talking about anyway. But I still think it's
Diamondbacks still win it.
what is the averages?
They beat them by almost 4,000. So Diamondbacks in 2016 average was 25,138.
25. What I say? 29 is what I said.
Marlins 2016 21,000.
21. They were higher than both of ours. I said 13. You said 15. You were closer on that one. But either way,
West Virginia plus 6.5. Not looking great. They're down 20.
fucking love it.
Stop paying for that app.
So I'll let you go for a little bit of a tangent here because I'm not a big. I haven't been keeping track with the NBA as much as I probably should have this year. I've been watching a lot of Orlando Magic.
Do you feel
3-game
qualified
winning streak.
to say who should be the MVP?
To be honest, no.
Maybe Stretch can get in? Or?
Stretch can hop in. Well, he'll yell his opinion here in a minute. But I would. I mean, just from based on what I've seen, I'm assuming it's got to be my boy, and all my friends for the last 4 years fucking know this, and they text me all the time about it. Antetokounmpo has been my fucking guy before he put on 50 pounds of muscle. I don't know if you knew that or not, but I screamed about that guy for fucking years. Or James Harden or whoever. Who would be your, in your opinion, who watches more NBA than I do as of right now?
I mean, I think what it's going to be is James Harden, and they're not going to give it to him, but even given this...
You think what it's going to be and they're not going to give it to him? Which one is it? You think he's deserving of it and they're not going to give it to him?
He's deserving of it. Well, no. They're going to give it to him, but it should be LeBron. It almost should be LeBron every year. When you're
no argument here.
When you get hurt, and it's the same kind of thing why Jordan didn't win it every single year, it's like they kind of get tired of giving it to the same guy. They kind of want to switch it up. When you see the difference of the team when LeBron's playing to when he's out is ridiculous. Like
They lost to the Cavs at home.
I had money on that. Cavs.
They're what 3 and 8. He's missed the last 11 games. They're 3 and 8. In those
LeBron
games.
loved that, by the way. LeBron's like, oh, look at both these teams. I'm off the Cavs. They're the worst team in the league, and they beat my team, who I'm injured right now, so I can't play. He was on the sideline with like he was on the court side with like a glass of wine.
Why wouldn't he be?
Yeah, why wouldn't he be, right?
And no, Chad, we're not fucking trading Vooch. He's our best player. I fucking love that guy. He likes Orlando.
Well, it's probably
Get
the same kind of guy that wanted to trade Oladipo, and now he's like an MVP kind of guy.
No, I actually didn't like Oladipo. I thought his offense was not there yet. His defense is pretty good. He's an undersized shooting guard. I'm okay with him being wherever the fuck he is now. He was with the Thunder for a minute, right? Indiana now. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. I'm not saying that fucking Evan Fournier is better because he's not. But
well, it's not like it was one or the other. Like they had both.
But I'm just saying, like, okay, so if it's one of those classic, okay, are you going to pay him a shit ton of money to stay and then you have no money for anybody else? Like, that's what drives me nuts about some of these athletes is that they get a lot of money, which is great. I'm okay with you getting a lot of money. People don't understand how hard you work to earn it, even if you were born with it. But then you demand this high contract and then you expect this awesome team and then they can't afford to put any players around you.
But the way the salary cap goes up, if you can't afford to pay an Oladipo, who are you going to afford to pay? Who are the Magic paying right now where it's like, we can't get rid of this guy, we got to pay him all the money?
Well, I'm just saying, because Tobias Harris also wanted a fucking max contract. They were both demanding 45 or something like that, $45 million.
He was on the Pistons for a bit, and he was a really good
after
player.
us, because we let him go because we didn't want to pay him because he wasn't worth it. And he clearly showed he was. No offense to the Pistons, but he clearly shows that he was not worth it. We're not going to give him that contract.
Well, for a while when he was on the Clippers, he was like their leading scorer. They were first in the league as far as record goes.
He was not a leading scorer on the number one Clippers.
Yes, he was. When the
Tobias Harris?
Tobias
Harris.
Yes, when the Clippers were in first, Tobias Harris was their leading scorer. Look it up.
What year is this?
This year. Let me make my 10 back.
For like a game? Like what's
No,
happening?
for like 2 or 3 months.
I want to
just trust me.
I want to do a fair. Okay, yeah, there's no way we can do a fair bet on that because we got to do like splits and shit. But
he might still be their leading scorer. He's like he came from the Blake Griffin trade, and he's like a baby Blake Griffin almost.
I can't stand Blake Griffin, but
why is that?
I really don't mind him so much as a person. I think he's kind of a baby, but I just hate the hype around him. I don't think he's.
Well, he doesn't have it anymore. He's in Detroit. He has no hype now. I think he's top 12 in the league in scoring, but he has no hype. It's probably one of his best seasons, but he has no hype.
No hype. Good old Blake Griffin. One thing I really wanted to touch on, just to totally switch gears here, was the sorry, my fucking earpiece refuses to stay in. But the Odell Beckham thing. I really wanted to get onto this. Is he leaving? If so, when? And if so, who to?
I mean, the Steelers seem to have an opening.
I've heard.
I doubt they kind of want to repeat that whole kind of thing, though.
I've heard rumblings of the Browns, and some of my family members are
Oh my
talking about
God.
how awesome that they would love that. I'm like, no.
What?
I don't know.
You're one of the people who
Absolutely
doesn't
not.
like the look at me kind of thing.
So look, I'm going to let you know right now, I'm a huge Des Bryant fan, and everyone says that
So
he was
you
the same way,
do
but
like
he
the look
wasn't.
at me.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
Not as much as the rest of these guys. Des has a point. He said, if y'all threw to me as much as you did Odell Beckham and Antonio Brown, I put up those numbers, and he's right. With a healthy Romo, he puts up those numbers. He only did it for 1 year. It was only when both were healthy the whole year, and Romo fucking did it. It was unbelievable.
Well, they never should have got rid of Romo when they did. That was...
Well, they didn't get rid of him. He wanted to kind of retire because he wanted to walk when he's. And he's also a fantastic golfer. He missed the U.S. Open by 2. That's neither here nor there. But anyways, yeah, he's an unbelievable golfer. He's better than Steph Curry. But anyways, so I don't like Odell Beckham because when you see these tantrums on the sidelines for both players, you don't hear audio. When you hear audio for Dez, he's like, we are the fucking best team in this league. Why the fuck are we calling these plays? Like, we need to be better than this. We are better than this. Let's fucking get it, boys. It looks like he's throwing a tantrum because he's a little child and he's losing his mind. Odell Beckham fucking starts fighting things because, like, a fucking punter, all this, all these random things because he wants the ball more.
When are people-
Antonio Brown included.
When are people going to stop expecting receivers to not be receivers? Like, that's their attitude. It's the only position in
Des
the game. Cornerbacks and receivers, why do they talk the most? It's because their position depends the most. Odell Beckham depends on his paycheck on how well Eli Manning can get him the ball.
Right.
Not very well. So why would you not be mad? It's like if you went to work and your paycheck depended on somebody else setting you up. Why would you not be mad if you're Odell Beckham? If you had Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, you'd be scoring 20 touchdowns a year.
I can buy that.
Why should you be content and happy when you show? It's the old cliche that I hate. When you show me a good loser, I'll show you a loser. Why would you want it? Why would you want a guy to be like, oh yeah, it's okay, Eli. You can't throw the ball more than 20 yards. I think this is off the top of my head, but I think Odell Beckham had more 40-yard touchdown passes last year than Eli Manning. Right? Yes. Stretch is saying right. That is ridiculous. When you're throwing 5 passes a year, and this guy has the ball every single play.
Who's a Super Bowl winner though? Like no one calls
Okay.
OBJ a Super Bowl winner, and I hate when people talk about Super Bowl too because it's like, well, Dan Marino's not a good quarterback because he won a Super Bowl.
Okay, yeah, it's a stupid thing. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, Aaron Rodgers only has 1 Super Bowl, Eli Manning has 2.
Right.
No, it's ridiculous. Aaron Rodgers,
But-
best quarterback of all time.
To your point, it's not like, I mean, okay, so Dez didn't do it, so that makes him a good player. It's a team game. I do see what you're saying though. You bring great points. Like, okay, your job depends on it, but no one is not going to sign Odell Beckham Jr. I was saying I don't want the Browns to sign him because I think he's going to be a fucking massive distraction.
Well, did you want them to sign Jarvis Landry? Because that is...
No, I didn't.
We were talking earlier about thieves.
did not.
Jarvis Landry, thief.
I totally agree with you. I think Jarvis
should
Landry
have
was a
shown
bad
up-
signing.
Not T.Y. Hilton. He should have shown up to every game
He's-
with a ski mask
he's-
on.
he's
'Cause
not a
he
number one
stole
receiver.
that money.
He's a big slot guy in a system that worked well for him. It clearly didn't work well for him for us this year. He
But-
didn't play very well at
But
all.
people in Miami knew that. They're like, he catches 10 passes for 60
No,
yards.
they thought he was fucking God amongst gods.
They let him
thought
go.
he was the number one. All the Miami fans let him go. No, the management let him go. I think that
the Miami fans didn't want to really necessarily keep him, I don't believe.
in my opinion they
Think
did, but
so?
I don't know. I think they definitely.
I would not have
100%.
wanted him. I would.
Well, this means you and I are on the same wavelength as far as non.
Yeah, let's
stupidness,
disagree.
but
That's
yeah,
better.
Yeah.
Never
I didn't
mind.
want him in Cleveland. I
Never
thought we were
mind,
going to
he's good.
overpay for a slot receiver. I
No, I
don't
can't do it.
fucking get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, you have and then he proved himself to be a slot receiver when Callaway wound up. Callaway was open all the time. He could have had a monster season if every time he was open he got the ball. He would have had a monster season.
Well, if you say about any receiver in the league, if every time he was open and he got the ball, he'd have a monster season. I mean, that's Cole Beasley. Every time he's open, he'd fucking have
I
Wes
think
Welker
every time
numbers.
he's open, he's getting like a 5-yard catch.
I don't know. Well, that's true.
Somehow he's not on the Patriots. I feel
Well,
like.
Dez, I'll break Dez into that. No, and I would love to fight anybody on this. Dez in the open field with the ball, the only person I can think better of him in recent memory is T.O. Dez is
I mean,
just
Antonio Brown's pretty good.
throwing people fucking down. Tate, I'm a fan of PPR in fantasy. So I'm not a fan of PPR in real life. I love you, my man. I did not, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not just like this homer who's like, well, if they do bad and they're on my team, it's fine. Because I fucking hated Randy Greg, who's the fucking idiot who had all that fucking, Greg Hardy, thank you. Greg Hardy had all that shit. That fucking people. I know Cowboys fans. I'm not going to call out on here because they're members of this Traveling Dunks group. But they fucking literally like, well, hey, as long as
Cowboys fans suck.
Well, no, he was saying that like, well, hey, as long as he gets sacks for my team, then I don't care. Well, that's not the way to think about it. I don't like that thing. And same thing with Baker Mayfield. All these Browns fans act like they've never seen the internet one time in their entire life before. Like, Baker Mayfield was handcuffed and asked to walk a line because he was shit-faced running from a party. They caught up to him, tried to haul ass. Cops grab him within 6 seconds, which tells you about his 40 time, and fucking knock his ass down. And he's like, okay.
That just
well,
means the cops had a good 40
ask for
time.
fucking grace when you've just tried to run from cops, and then they're putting their knees onto your back. Like, I'm not saying this is not getting political. I'm not saying all cops are great. I'm just saying when you try to run from the cops and all of a sudden they catch you and now you want them to be soft with you, that's not how that works. So
this has nothing to do with sports. But when I watch Cops, I'm like, they're only showing the people who don't get away. There's got to be people who get away, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I'm not that fast or athletic, but I kind of feel like I could get away.
Some of them, yeah.
I don't know. If I know the neighborhood and you don't, like,
Chad brings up a great point. I'm always open, every receiver ever. I think that brings up both our points. It's not calling anyone of us out.
Every quarterback who's really precise, their receivers are always open.
No, they're not always open. They say they ran the wrong routes.
Well,
but I always say a lot too.
That's the Phillip Rivers thing. It's like,
yeah.
I threw a pick and now I'm really mad, and I know I'm on TV, so I'm gonna make it look like it's your fault.
No.
You know, DeAndre Hopkins didn't have a drop this year.
Not one drop.
110 catches, no drops, 0 drops. I mean, I was at Walmart today waiting for an oil change, and I kind of saw these receiver gloves. These are Walmart receiving gloves. They're pretty sticky, but still, people have drops.
That's unbelievable.
Let me just double check.
How about the Wayne Corvetts of the world who didn't even wear gloves?
Yeah.
Or the Eric Berrys.
I was thinking about that.
He's not a receiver.
I was thinking about that too, where it's like, I don't wear gloves. It's like when you don't wear like batting gloves, and like, well, it's kind of like cool if you're like an old-timey kind of an opinion guy, but like.
Or you're moist as a and you piss on your hands to make them callous, which is.
But at the same time, if you have the technology, like if they allowed you to use an aluminum bat, like I'm still using a wood bat. It's like, why wouldn't you use the best technology?
Yeah, that's true.
Like if the best player on my team's like, I'm not wearing gloves, and then he had a drop. If Alshon Jeffrey said, I'm not wearing gloves because I'm a purist, and he had that drop, oh my God.
Oh, that's what it would all be about. It's like the new thing in golf that you can leave the pin in when you're putting because the United States ones have fiberglass in them, so they'll ricochet off. So, but the second someone misses one putt because it ricochets off, oh well, that's you're a fucking idiot. It's that same mentality.
I like to golf, and I'll tell you this: if I don't expect to make a putt and it's like from like 15 yards out, which has happened like one time in my life, if it hits the pin and knocks out, I'm like, I'm counting it. I know they don't do that like on the tour, but I'm like,
I don't think they do. I think it's frowned upon. And yeah, actually, I mean, I'm not going to get much into it unless someone immediately comments, please talk more about that, because I can. But
yeah, your fantasy team and whatever else as far as your golf game, nobody cares about.
Oh, not my golf game. I meant just the fucking pin.
Yeah,
because there's a whole another side of that.
People aren't dying for pin talk.
Ever see Torrey Holt's fingers? No, I have not. I'm assuming they probably look like Booger McFarland's.
Have you seen Shaq and Embiid's feet? Oh my God. Have you seen it?
I've seen a little bit of Shaq's feet. I don't care to see any other feet today.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Whatever you're into, man, I don't judge. It's fucking fine.
I'm gonna pull it up right now live to get your reaction.
And that's, oh God, are we really already? That's nuts. Well, thanks so much for joining us.
And Embiid's feet, that's the end of the podcast.
Embiid's feet. Jesus. Stretch, you got anything to fucking throw in here? You all right?
How long was that?
Well, so far we're only at an hour, and Chad says Google it, but
What, Embiid's feet?
No. Torrey Holt's fingers. Forever broken.
Forever unclean.
Forever unclean. Well, guys, thank you so much, seriously, for tuning in. Hopefully, I know this is inaugural, so I'm not going to be pissed at anybody who didn't tune in this week, but thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Hope we see you later on down the line. Again, if you have any comments or any type, any categories you want us to talk about, or anything that you have to comment whatsoever, go on the Traveling Junks site there. Please comment on there. Or if you just want to come and enjoy a great drink, whether it be with us or throughout the week, Public House right behind Applebee's on University in Alafaya. It's fucking unbelievable. It's
my first podcast of all time. Hopefully the first one is the worst one. So, I mean, if this sucked, hopefully it'll be a little bit better next week.
We're good. No, they're just going to expect the same awesomeness. That's what they're going to be. So now you already start off on a 10, so they're going to expect 10. So just so you know. But thank you guys again. I really do appreciate it. From the Traveling Junks, Marty, Brett against myself, and our awesome producer, Shreds. Thank you, and hopefully see you next week, all right? Thanks, guys.